Hello there and welcome back to the last project in today's class, and it's going to be this little card here. So we need a card base. I happen to have this one left over. You probably, if you're crafting along, will have to cut a new one. So we need a piece of thick white that's 14.8.5 by no, it's not, it's 21 by 14.8.5, so it's A5, and then we're cutting it, we're scoring it at 10.5, so we're just making an A6 card base. And then for the front, we need to take some the thinner white, or the standard white you can use, and we're going to cut this down to 10 centimetres, 10 centimetres by 14.3 and a bit. Okay, and that is going to go on there like that. I actually just trim that down a little bit more there. Okie dokes. Now you should have some of this spotty paper left from the winter nests. I don't think I've got any because, let me just check. I sent it all out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own background. So if you want to do any more of these cards, I'm going to create a slightly different one. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut a piece of card that's 9 centimetres square. But you can do that with your paper if you've got the paper. And that's going to sit there behind the aperture, which is the hole. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a background with the pool party ink, because I think I've used all my paper up, and I just ordered one pack, and I gave everyone doing the class half a sheet each, so there was just enough. But you know what, this is why stamps and inks were invented. Surely. Okay. Doesn't matter about the bottom bit because you don't see it. Okie doke. So you will need your larger machine for this, cutting machine, and I've used a square die from the Stylish Shapes, which I would recommend these if you've not already got them. Obviously I've had these for quite some time, and you get quite a lot of dies, so you get squares, very, very useful, of different sizes. You get these little banners, which are useful, and then the circles, and they've got stitching on, which is always a bit of a bonus. So I'm going to take my machine. This is the last card that we're doing today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in there, and I want the die to be quite near the top. Try and get it straight. Now, if you want to use some washi tape just to hold it down, that's always a good idea. I'm going to risk it. I'm stood up crafting because I'm looking out the window because I'm waiting for my food shopping, well, our food shopping delivery. And if I stand up, I can see it come up the hill. Because I filmed this earlier in the week. Okay. So we have now got a lovely aperture where I've cut the square out, but we also have that left over, which is handy. What we're going to do is, you can use your papers if you've got the winter nest papers, but I haven't got any left, so I've made my own using the, no, my dog is, I don't know why, she's trying to scratch to get in the drawers, the craft drawers, so there's nothing to eat in there. So I've just created a little snowy background there, which I actually really quite love. Now, before I do anything else though, I am going to stamp the greeting on the white piece. Which I will just move off from there. So I'm going to stamp this in the middle, or as near as I can get it. So there's my Christmas. And I'll get my Merry. That's sitting in there like that. Now, I've already stamped and coloured my images. What I'm going to do is just stick this down. Pop that there like that. Okay, and then this will sit over the top of that. All right, so I have used another church image, and I've forgotten again to colour that wreath in. No, the bow on the wreath. And I've left a little bit of snow at the bottom, and that's going to sit sort of in there like that. Now, I've stuck those flat, and then I've raised up this part. So what I think I'm going to do is pop that little house behind there. And I don't know if you can see, let me move this and you might be able to see a bit better, but what I've been able to do you see the line that comes from the church one? I've been able to line that up with the line on the house. Can you see that on camera? Let me just zoom in a little bit. Can you see how I've lined those up? Yeah, look. They just sort of line up. And it makes it look a bit more continuous. How clever is that? And that will go over the top like that. So we can just glue those down. So I was just telling you about lining these little parts up there. It looks really good, doesn't it, when it's lined up? And then you see this will go over there, like that. Yeah? I know you've only got part of the house, but that's all right. You could maybe move it over a little bit. Should we do that? You can still line it up. So let's move it over and line it up a bit better. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some dimensionals, give it some dimension, and pop. You need quite a few. You could use the strips. I'm a bit of a dimensionals girl. And that's going to then go over the top. That's going to sit over there like that. And I just love that. I love that. It's like a little window on a lovely snowy village scene. Now, if you saw earlier, I have used the square. So the square that we took out, I'm not going to make this now, but the square that we took out, because I've got no paper, I made into a gift tag. Okay, so I've just measured inside here, and I've cut a piece of the paper that fits and added a tree and some houses, and then I've actually stamped direct onto the paper, made a little hole with a punch, and I put some of this in for you. You can thread that through, and then I also popped you in a little bit of the real red and white baker's twine just to tie it up, so you can make a little tag like that. So we're not wasting this lovely square that we cut out. Now if you cut a circle out, you could make you'd have to cut a piece of paper with a smaller circle die, something like that. But yeah, hope you get on okay with that. So, do you know what? I'm looking at the two cards, the one with the paper and the one with the stamping behind. And I actually thought I'd love the paper one more, but I'm liking the one that's stamped. As always, I like to do a little display of and go through the cards that we've made today. So, and if you're in my VIP Paper Haven group, then please feel free to share them. If not, if you put them on your socials and you tag the Paper Haven in, I would love to see them. So you should have 4 cards done and a nice little tag as an extra bonus. There we go. There we go. Thank you for joining me today. I can't wait to see your creations. And my next event is, I've got a bingo night on Wednesday the 18th of December. So if you're in the UK and you fancy joining me, then head over to my events website. There's a link in the description of this video, and I'd love to see you there. I'm planning lots of new classes for 2025, and I also have my weekend retreat in April. I'll see you very soon. Bye.